Yo, what's good? Big Z here, and today I just wanted to kind of update an older video for my channel because I made it over a year ago and it's the most viewed video for my channel, but the method that I show in it is not that great. There's a way better method to use for this reverb trick. So I kind of wanted to set the record straight and just put it all in one video, how I use this reverb trick and why it's better than the other method that I showed. So I'll be using this track I'm working on as an example. I've added this little lead melody to it just for the purposes of this video. I know it doesn't sound that great, but for the purposes of this video, it'll work fine. So here's what the lead melody and everything sounds like real quick. So if we solo the lead melody here, you'll be able to hear the reverb on it. So what we want to do is sidechain the reverb to the lead signal, and I'll talk about the benefits of doing it this way. All we have to do is go down here and send the lead to a new bus, so I'll choose bus 22, and we want to make it pre-fader, and I'll just keep it at 0 decibels for now, and just make sure the output is turned off, no output. So this can be different depending on what DAW you use, but the concepts are the same. So now that we have that bus set up, the lead signal will be going into bus 22 with no output. So now I have this reverb send, I just have this reverb on there, and after the reverb, I'm going to put a compressor. It could be any compressor that has sidechain capabilities, which is most of them. So all we do is go into the sidechain window and go down to the bus that I sent the lead to, which is bus 22. Now the reverb is sidechained to the lead signal. When I disable the compressor, you'll be able to hear how the lead is kind of drowning in the reverb a little bit, and when I switch it back on, you'll be able to hear how the reverb signal is ducking out of the way every time the lead plays. So this method is really easy to set up, and the major benefit of it is that you can sidechain this reverb signal with different tracks, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And there's a couple different applications that I'll show you for it. So for instance, say that you had an A and a B lead. So like one lead that would play like these notes, and the other lead would play the opposite notes. So I'll just mute those here. So just pretend those were different sounds and they were A-Bing with each other. All I have to do now is make sure both these leads are being sent to this sidechain bus with no output, and that they're on pre-fader mode and that the levels are the same. Now even though they're on different tracks, both their signals will be sent to this sidechain. Another benefit of this method would be, say that I wanted to sidechain all of my synths to the kick throughout the track. So I have this synth bus here that I have all my synths going through. Let's also pretend that I have a different kick for the verses that I do for the drop. So if I drag these kicks down here, they're on a separate track now. So now I can't just sidechain the synths to that kick signal because they're on 2 separate tracks. So what I would do is send both of them to a new bus. I'll just pick bus 26, pick pre-fader, set it to 0, and turn the output off. Now that's set up for that one kick, and now I just have to send the verse kick to that same bus. So I'll send it to bus 26, make sure it's on pre-fader. Now what this will allow me to do is sidechain all the synths to these 2 different kicks and set different signal levels for each of them. So I'll add a compressor to this synth bus, and I'll sidechain it to bus 26, which I just set up. So I'll set my threshold level to get the sidechain where I want it for the drop. So around -6 decibels of gain reduction sounds good to me for the drop. Now say for the verses I had a separate kick and then I also wanted to have less sidechain in the verses. What I'll do is loop this synth bus. I'll keep the compressor open so you can see what it's doing. And here's the verse kick down here. And here's the signal that's going to the compressor from this verse kick. So we can mess around with the level of the signal to control the amount of sidechain we want. So you can see as I move around the level of that send track, it changes the amount of sidechain that we want. So for the verse, I can have like 3 decibels of gain reduction instead of 6 for the drop. And in the drop, we still have 6. So I just showed you guys a couple examples of how to use this method, but you can really use it endlessly. So you can use it on vocals, on vocal reverbs, on vocal delays. You can use it on a synth delay. You can use it on anything that you can think of. And the real benefit is that you can send multiple tracks to that sidechain signal. Say you have a drum and bass track and you want to sidechain your synths to the kick signal and the snare signal, then you could do that using this method. So that's really the benefit of it, and it's really easy to set up. So hopefully this was helpful to some of you guys. I've got a new signal coming out next week, so be on the lookout for that. I'll definitely do a video on it. Other than that, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.